A little bit of breaking news here on First Take involving Cowboys wideout Dez Bryant. According to NFL.com, a police report from 2011 mentions that an unknown person called the police to explain that a female was being dragged from one vehicle to another by a male. The vehicle was registered to Dez Bryant. It is important to note here that there were no charges against Bryant filed or anyone else. According to NFL.com, Cowboy officials have known about this incident for some time. There are reports incidents like this could impact the negotiations between Dez and the Cowboys. And again, let's just be clear. We just got this police report, Stephen and Skip. That's why we are scouring it right now, trying to make sense of it all. Stephen A., this has been circulating in NFL circles for some days now. Your first reaction on what you think you know or what you believe could be happening here?
Well, first of all, I know nothing. We just got this report. I don't know anything. I haven't reported on it. That's number one. Number two, no one else seems to know anything either. Number three, the fact that nobody knows anything, yet Dez Bryant is being discussed in this capacity is very disturbing to me. Number four, if this man put his hands on a woman, he should be dealt with, should have been arrested. More importantly, he shouldn't have been a member of the Dallas Cowboys. Number five, if indeed he put his hands on somebody, he did anything, okay? Because we're all saying we don't know. If he's done anything of that variety and the Dallas Cowboys were aware of it, why has Dez Bryant been a member of this team? Why has he been here? And why is it an issue now, right around the time when contract negotiations are coming up? So we want to sit here and say that it's a concern of the Dallas Cowboys, which is why they're reluctant with their long-term offer, which, by the way, I have no problem with it. I mean, if the reports are true, and they offered Dez Bryant $110 million, all right, guaranteeing $10 million a year for the first 6 years, with a $15 million signing bonus or whatever it is, okay, $20 million in guaranteed, even though I think it should be larger than that in guaranteed money. Seems to me that if they could up the guaranteed portion of it, but they left it at $110 million, I certainly wouldn't be insulted by that. But the flip side to it, again, where I'm incredibly uncomfortable, Skip, where I really have a problem with it, is that something's being discussed, but folks are claiming they don't know. But America's going to know that whether it's us, it's the NFL Network, it's NFL.com, it's ESPN, it's Fox, it's Comcast, whomever. We're talking about this man in this capacity. How does he get from under this? If indeed he ends up not being a part or is guilty or whatever it is, whatever way you want to term it, that's what concerns me because we don't know. And to me, the people who would know, other than Dez Bryant, are the Cowboys. And we're bringing up an instance. Kerry just introduced the subject. And what did you say, Kerry? 2011. Let's see. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. It's 4 years where he has been a member of the Dallas Cowboys. And y'all heard this, y'all heard that. But he's getting paid. Y'all are raving about him. Everybody loves Dez Bryant. He's the man. And then his contract negotiation comes up. And now this subject is broached. It's unfortunate.
All right,
I'll leave it at that.
Skip Bayless, it's being described as an unknown disturbance in a Walmart parking lot. You have the police report there. Your take on this?
This is all that I do know about what we're discussing. As you point out, this incident happened, and the police were called on July 11th of 2011. So to your point, almost going on 4 years ago. And as I read the police report, the woman involved stated to the police she was not assaulted or injured in any way. Again, I'm just reading the police report. And the officer determined there was no offense And the officer told all parties, and there were several other parties on the scene involved, told all parties they were advised they were free to go. So, what happened? I don't know. But the policeman on site decided nothing happened that required his further services. No charge filed, no offense, is his conclusion in this police report. Now, it was intriguing to me that last night Dez tweeted, "I can't continue to get betrayed like this." Then that was taken down off his Twitter site.
Immediately.
Yeah. Then later he tweeted about, I'm just going to paraphrase part of the tweet, "I'm not ashamed of any of my past incidents," and he went on to say, because they're who I am. They made me what I am in a good way. Like I've learned from, that's the inference of it, I've learned from my past incidents, and there have been a number that we have talked about on this show. Now, to the conclusion about this, your takeaway. I'm uncomfortable suggesting that somehow the Dallas Cowboys are now trying to leak information that would damage Dez's reputation and decrease his bargaining power. I'm very uncomfortable with that, because that's a strong accusation that somehow Cowboy management is behind this leak. Wow. There's some cutting off your nose to spite your face there, because I don't know what statute of limitations would apply here, but could the NFL, if there's further information that comes to light, if there is a video of this, if there's outrage over whatever the video is, I have no idea. But now it brings into play, will the NFL step back in to look at this or to rule somehow on this? I don't know, because...
Well, if there's video, all bets are off. It becomes something totally different.
Okay.
If there's a video of an alleged incident.
Sure.
And we don't know.
We don't know that. We do not know that. But that's why I'm still uncomfortable with the sort of the suggestion that somehow this was a leak from the Dallas Cowboys organization to damage Dez's bargaining power and his reputation.
No.
Okay.
No, that's not. I'm not trying to imply that. I mean, as it pertains to this specific report right here, I'm not saying I'm holding the Dallas Cowboys accountable for that. What I'm saying is that if we're going to question Dez Bryant, how are we not questioning the Cowboys? Because if we're learning about this now, are y'all trying to tell me that the Dallas Cowboys didn't know anything about this until now? They most certainly knew about this back in 2011. Yeah. Oh, that's all I'm saying. Okay. So my point is that if the Dallas Cowboys knew something about this back then, what did they do to address it? I'm saying that
they didn't have to do anything because the officer concluded there was no offense and obviously no charges were filed. So,
but what I'm saying to you is this: listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not whether that applies to Dez Bryant or the Cowboys or somebody. All I'm trying to imply is that the Cowboys, we sit here and we ask these questions about Dez. We all know that in a court of public opinion, at the very least, that raises an eyebrow and to some degree, whether it be small or large, sullies the name of a Dez Bryant. And maybe he deserves it. I don't know. I don't know what he's guilty or innocent of. I don't know what he has done. And I reserve the right upon further evidence to sit around and judge accordingly. But what I'm saying is that it amazes me that when we could bring up something about a player from 4 years ago and what he may or may not have done, we can contribute to sullying his character, even though when there's no factual evidence to our knowledge that he is guilty of such a thing. But we just gloss over the Cowboys. Because to me, if he is guilty of anything, then the Cowboys must be guilty of knowing. So what about them? And we got to ask these questions. And how does stuff end up, if we end up finding more about this stuff? Mm-hmm. Was it swept under the rug?
Yeah.
And if it was, who facilitated that?
Well,
I'm just saying,
it's been widely reported.
If we're going to do it, let's do it.
Kerry pointed out.
That's all I'm saying.
Was it a couple of weeks ago? The police have been called to Dez's house.
Several times.
Well, it's more than, it was like I
It was a
forget what
bunch,
the
but
number was. It was a bunch.
But in fairness, he hadn't been
many times
there.
He wasn't
He
there.
was not there.
Right, okay.
All right, you mentioned the tweet. February 20th is when, this is all we've heard about Dez. Again,
Yep.
this has been circulating for some time now, but he said, it's clear as day what's going on. I might need to do an exclusive interview about my life these past 5 years, since the world is destined to know. I used to let people take advantage of my life. Now that I'm no longer allowing that to happen, it seems to be a problem. We'll leave it there.
I'll
Obviously,
happily talk to him.
It's still a developing story. We will have more First Take